So it's a cold morning here at the trailhead for Mount Stinson in New Hampshire, in Rumney, New Hampshire. Should be an interesting, or at least enjoyable, hike. It's one of the 52 with the view mountains, and it has, so far what we know is that it has a tiny parking lot, and but that's not bad. But yeah, you should go straight up. Stinson is one of those mountains that people sometimes argue about. Some people really like it, some people don't. We haven't done it, so let's see. As far as I can tell, the big issue for people is that there are many multi-use trails on Mount Stinson. Those trails, of course, are used for snowmobilers and skiers. And so in the winter, hikers are the slowest moving and the most maneuverable. It can be a little demoralizing. But I think, obviously, for this hike in the spring, it isn't going to be an issue. So the trail's right behind me, actually, but I wanted to come down and take a look at this stream. It looks like there's a little bit of skunk cabbage here, which is really kind of interesting. Yeah, see, there it is, just sort of coming up. It's interesting stuff. The skunk cabbage generates its own heat, actually, and so it lives near the water like this and survives pretty well over the winter. It's quite a survival species. Native to here, but a bit of a weed in, see a little bit there, a bit of a weed in Europe. What makes skunk cabbage an asset here and a problem in Europe, where it is not a native species, is that it has a long growth season. And because of that growth season, its root system is very wide and deep. It's hard to dig them out. But the advantage to that, of course, is that they hold dirt well. And if you're next to a body of water, such as a stream, or if you are next to a river or a lake, this can be a real asset, not just for the stream itself, but for the animals and the more delicate plants that live on its banks. So we stopped for a wardrobe change. I'm starting to warm up, more us warming up than the weather changing. So far it's started to get a little steep. There's a lot of water, a lot of rivers going around the trail, and in some places, like right here in the trail. But so far so good. It's funny, this is like 2 weeks colder than where we live. So that's different. So we've been following a snowmobile trail for a while. You can see it goes up there, cool bridge for the snowmobiles, and then down the hill there. That's the way we came up. Right now, of course, it's just a trail. I imagine if you hike this in winter, that would add a degree of difficulty. If the snowmobiles are out, it's not super wide, and it's really pretty obviously set up for them. So just be aware, and then head for this sign behind me, which takes you back up onto the hiking trail, which is where you should be. I think we actually crossed this at least one more time according to the map, but heads up. Great. Oh wow, this is the whole thing. The trail went pretty much straight up after that intersection. There were a few bouldery parts and a few ledgy parts, but it wasn't that bad. And it was nice to get out and start to see a little bit more green. Every time we go for a hike now, we can see that spring is indeed coming. So I don't know what people are complaining about. It seems pretty cool to me. So that's it. We're back. It was really a very lovely hike. The hike itself was pretty. The view was great. I would say, many of you know, I don't like to classify things as easy, moderate, and hard because I think everything's hard for somebody. But I would say that this is an easy-going hike. If you're going to climb a mountain, probably a good introduction to the White Mountains. If you want to hike something bigger later, you get a good look and then you're done.